So what's going on, guys? I am back here at the Quick Lane Center at Sames Ford in Corpus Christi, Texas, getting some work done on the truck, and I think I'm getting a lot of comments on this one. So hang tight, I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this video. So I am here at Sames Ford, place I always get my tire work done, with my buddy Jordan and Juan. We're putting new tires on the truck. Now, before you guys start posting all sorts of negative comments about how I just spend so much money on things like tires, you have to understand what's going on here. My truck came with Continental HSR tires, which is a highway steer radial tire. And that tire is designed to be a very smooth, long-lasting tire on the road. Well, those tires were great. They were very quiet and they worked very well, but they didn't provide a ton of traction. So I removed those tires and I installed the Toyo M608Z tires, which are more of a mud drive tire. Well, after about 11,000 miles, the front tire started wearing very oddly, and mainly because it was a drive tire that was put on the front steer position of my truck. Well, I replaced those tires with some Firestones, which I currently have on the truck, and those tires have been working really, really well. They're quiet, they've been rolling smoothly, I haven't had any issues with them at all. But I have an opportunity here to evaluate the new Continental HD3 tires. This is a Conti Hybrid HD3 tire. This is the new tire that comes on the Ford F450 pickup truck stock. I've heard all sorts of great reviews about this tire, and I have the opportunity to do an evaluation on them. So Continental did provide these tires at no cost, so don't think I went out and just spent a ton of money on tires. And I'm going to do an evaluation of these tires and tell you how I feel about them, especially if you have an F450 that has the HSR tires and you're looking at exchanging them for something with a little bit more traction and grip. That's the design of the new HD3. So this is an all-position or drive tire, and it has a tremendous amount of grip and traction that the HSRs didn't have. I'll be running them for a good amount of time, so I'm going to see how these perform. Alright guys, so taking a look at these Firestones that we're removing, and these are good tires. I haven't had any issue with them at all. These are the FD690 Plus. They have some really deep traction on it. They are quiet. They've been rolling really well. I don't have any type of uneven or odd wear to them as well. And they've been working really well for me. Same with the back dually tires. These have been good tires. I don't have anything negative to say about them. I know that they are used in a ton of commercial fleet applications. Ever since putting these tires on, I've seen them on all sorts of tractor trailers and 18-wheelers all over the road, but these have been a good tire. Now, one of the things that I would like to see from the new Continental tires is I'd like them to be a little bit quieter, because these tires are still a little bit louder than what the factory Continentals were. I'd also like to see the traction improvement. These tires have worked really well in a mud or a sand environment, but when it comes to like wet traction, they're not very good. And that's really where the Continental tires are supposed to excel. So back at the Continental tires, you can definitely see how they've designed this tire. Just all the grooves and the siping. You can really see how this tire has been designed to be able to catch any type of traction. And it is snow approved. So this tire is designed to be used in inclement cold weather as well as warm weather. And in case you're wondering the specs, this is a 225/70 R19.5, 128 by 126 N load rating. This is a G load range tire. It is retreadable and regroovable. And again, the big story here in the comparison is how am I going to feel about these tires versus the HSR Continentals that were on the truck originally, because the new F450s come with this tire. So speaking of new F450s, there is an F450 right here. And this is a 2017 model, Lariat. And you can see that it has the factory HSR tires that come with it. So these are the same tires that came on my truck when I got it. And here's the rear HSR. Again, the same tire that came on my truck. And the HD3 tire. So it is definitely a different tread pattern. Almost entirely different. This has more of an open ridged shoulder to it, whereas the other one is kind of a smooth shoulder. Something else to note, this is an F-rated tire, and this is a G-rated tire. 12 ply, 14 ply. both commercial sized tires and both built entirely different than a regular small or light passenger car tire. And no matter how many times you see it, it's really impressive to see these huge hubs back here. 10 lugs, huge disc brakes, massive leaf spring setup, and you can see my airbags in there as well. If you put airbags on your truck, it's a good practice to put a little sticker indicating that you have airbags, simply because anytime they do suspension work, it's always good to know that they're aware that the truck has airbags. And that little sticker is designed to do that. So I actually still have one Continental HSR tire left. It's my spare tire. You can see the difference in tread pattern between it and the HD3s that we're going to be putting on today. So, definitely a different style of tire. And Ford puts this really interesting vibration dampener on the side, which attaches to the rear section of the frame. And that is designed to dissipate some of the actual vibration into the chassis of the truck. Alright, so some people might say, what specifically makes these such a good tire? So apparently they utilize a new hybrid tread compound, and it's supposed to improve the rolling resistance and give you much greater mileage out of these tires. And I've heard that on the forums. A lot of people compliment the HD3, especially if they're coming from the HSR tires that they used to have. They've also narrowed the grooves a little bit, and you can see the width of the grooves have been narrowed, which is supposed to improve how the tire wears and also give you a little bit longer mileage out of them. I'm really excited to see how these things perform. I believe they're going to be quieter than the Firestones. That's the first one. I think they're going to wear a little bit more even than the Firestones as well in the long run. But more importantly, I think they're going to have a tremendous amount of traction. You can just see with all the grooves that they've put in there. So funny story, while I've been here talking to them about these tires, a customer just called, or a potential customer just called, bought a used service vehicle, and he's specifically looking for 19.5-inch tires. So it's likely that before I leave here, these tires will be sold. That makes this an even better value proposition. Talk about timing. In life, it seems as if timing's about 90% of everything. Looks like everything is coming together really well. They have the Centromatic balancing rings back in place. They also road force balanced all of the tires. So the combination of balancing them and using the rings should help out tremendously. One of the reasons for having the Centromatic rings and not just balancing them with weights is because the outer lip of these Alcoa wheels, you don't really have a very attractive or a functional weight other than a stick-on weight that you might have to put here. So to keep from having to put a ton of stick-on weights around the outer edge of the wheel, or finding a very unique size of clip-on weight, they opt to get it balanced as much as possible with weights and then use the Centromatics to kind of finish off the process. All right guys, so we are getting all wrapped up here. They have tightened down the lug nuts. He is in the process of torquing them all up, making sure everything is tightened to spec. We're going to take this out on the road, see how it performs. All right, so I'm here with Jordan. We're taking the truck out for a quick spin with the new tires to see how it performs. Hopefully they do well. They're quieter, even at slow speeds, for sure. Again, he road force balanced them as well as put the Centromatics in. Get out on this road to see how they work. This is just kind of a preliminary drive. Make sure there's no crazy vibration or balancing issue. So far, so good. Man, these are quiet tires.
Yeah, they are pretty quiet.
You know, the Firestones were significantly quieter than the Toyos, but it's kind of refreshing going back to Continentals, because I've missed how quiet those HSRs were, and these HD3s are just as quiet. So how long you worked at Sames?
I've been with Sames for 7 years now.
You like it?
Pays the bills.
You know, and you guys always are friendly when I go there. That's kind of the differentiator between a lot of places that you go. You know, what type of expressions are on the folks' face.
We try to take care of everybody, man. We want repetitive customers, I guess you can say.
Try not to block his blind spot here, so.
Yeah, we're in corpus.
Exactly. You got to be careful for people who may not be as safe on the road. Okay, now we're going to take it on the expressway, see how it drives. Man, these are quiet tires.
Yeah, they are pretty quiet.
Again, you only realize that when you've had tires that aren't that quiet. And again, the Firestones were so much quieter than the Toyos, but I could still hear them. These tires, you don't hear at all. These are the equivalent of like an F450. The Michelins that you get on an F450, just how quiet they are. And these Continentals feel the same. 66, how's it feel on your side?
Pretty good.
So far, I'm really impressed. Jordan has actually been the guy that has installed all, what are we on? 3 sets.
4 sets.
4 sets total if you include the ones that came on the truck, but all 4 sets of tires on this truck. And he's seen the weird wearing that we saw on the Toyos.
Yeah.
Then we put the Firestones on, and he drove it when we put those on, and it drove smooth. But now with the Continentals on, I think these have them both beat.
Yeah, no, they're smooth. Real quiet tire.
Definitely. Anyways, guys, I am going to have these tires on the truck for an extended period of time. I want to give a very fair, honest evaluation of how they are. These tires, again, were provided to me by Continental, and they very clearly said that they want an honest review of their tires, and I will give that to you. And I think that could easily be said about all the other tires I had on the truck, that I gave a very honest approach to reviewing them, and I let you guys know how I felt about them. Now, I hope to have these tires on for a much longer period of time, but if I'm back, I mean, you know, it keeps these guys employed to come back and keep putting tires on. So
Keeps us busy.
Yeah, so I'm helping people. I'm helping the economy by putting tires on this truck. Anyways, guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you again very soon.